Good evening, everybody. Now we are going to start our webinar. Sorry for a little bit delay because is having some technical issues and all. So today we are having very eminent speaker, Dr. Subramania Paddan. I'm doing little introduction about him. I think so many students are here who are not that much familiar with sir, actually, the head of the department of Durbaguna department of Alvas Ayurveda Medical College and Hospital, and he had. I'm requesting the participants, please mute your microphone. Okay, so third had received his PhD as the first from the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, and till now, more than 20 PhD and PG scholars he had guided successfully. And not only that, he had he had uh, published several papers, okay, research papers. He is also the director of the research and development wings, that is ATMA. And not only that, even he is having another extra curriculum. Based on that, he is very much famous. He is very good singer, and not only that, he is very good akshagana artist also. So right away now I'm going to requesting sir, warm heartedly I'm welcoming sir and requesting sir to start his presentation over the
Yeah.
topic green philosophy. Sir.
Okay. Thank you. Slides. Slides
Slide is
visible
not
or
now it's visible. Yes, sir, visible.
visible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yes. Shall I start now? Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir, sure, you will start.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Myself also visible, no? I am also visible.
Yes, sir, both are visible. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me start. Sorry for the delay. तृष्णादैर्घ्यम् असद्विचारशिरसम् प्रद्वेषचञ्चत्वणम् कामक्रोधवितर्कदशनम् रागप्रचण्डे क्षणौ मोहास्यं स्वशरीरकौटरशयनं चित्तोरगं दारुणम् प्रज्ञामन्त्र बलेन यः शमितवान् देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः Om Sri Dhanvantari Namaha. Good evening to all. First of all, I am highly thankful to the organizers, especially Dr. Priyanka Ganguly and all the organizers. Yeah, let me start. Today's topic is green philosophy. So, what is green philosophy? So, it refers to plant science only. So, what is the philosophy behind this plant science? That is important. Whenever we are studying about Rasaguna Viryapaka and actions, other things. But how this nature and human relationship develops, or Purushaloka Samyavada, how it is adhered or interrelated. All those things we have to discuss. How the nature and human being are organs of the human being and nature, how it is related. Those things also let us study. So the philosophy behind this green plant we are discussing. We have studied in the Ayurveda, Vriksha Ayurveda, everything explained. In Ashtanga Ayurveda, Draviguna is not mentioned, but it is Sarvanga Ayurveda. Draviguna is mentioned everywhere. That's why in Ayurveda, we don't have separate branch in Ashtanga Ayurveda. But later authors, Nigantukaras, they have bifurcated this branch. And right now we have some 14 to 15 branches in Draviguna, Ayurveda. Okay. Coming to the subject proper, there is a slogan or quotation in Vriksha Ayurveda of Surapala that बहुभिः किं वने जातैः पुत्रैः धर्मार्थ वर्जितैः वरमेक पथि तरुर्यत्र विश्रामयते जनैः. That means better to have a tree by the wayside where many rest under its shade. Always we should have the nature than to have many sons born who are devoid of wealth and virtue. Means it is not, the son is not required, but the plant is that much important to closely related to human beings or any living beings, animals or human beings. So always better to have plants in and around your area. Okay. Let us move to the ancient India, the Veda or Jyotish Shastra. They have mentioned as Udakargala or Jalashodha, where we can find this water reservoir or groundwater recharging or groundwater reservoir. Even geologists also, they are studying this plant science also, because we can find where exactly this water reservoir is there. So in ancient India, the Veda or Jyotish Shastra, we can get some references related to source of water reservoir also, which are mentioned as Udakargala or Jalashodha. Such plants are mentioned below as, this is important plant I am saying. So wherever the Amalaki Vriksha is there, we can naturally grow, not cultivated I am saying. Wherever the Amalaki Vriksha is common or Karanja Vriksha is common or Udumbara Vriksha, especially Udumbara or any Kshiri Vrikshas like Nyagrodha, Udumbara, Ashwatha, Laksha, etc. Wherever these Kshiri Vrikshas are naturally grown or Amalaki is grown or Karanja is grown, definitely we can suspect there is a rich water reservoir, groundwater reservoir is there, definitely we can find. So geologists also believe these things also. In Varahi Samhita, you can get one more reference that the water reservoir has Udumbara, Ketaki and Narikela. Wherever these plants are there, Udumbara or Ketaki or Narikela, we can find this water reservoir. We can suspect the water reservoir. Later in Brihat Samhita, a tree is seen flourishing in a waterless or dry area. There will be a water in depth of 7.5 cubits depth. Okay. The one more reference is in a jambu tree in the same area, the water is present in 12 feet depth and 4.5 feet north to jambu tree. This is the identification of water reservoir methods. If there is anthill near jambu, Valmika, that's Valmika near jambu tree, there will be sweet water in 12 feet depth, 3 cubits south to jambu. So these are the points, exact points they are saying. If there is Udumbara tree with or without anthill, water will be present in 15 feet depth, 5 feet west to Udumbara. Just 5 feet west to Udumbara and dig a pit, and then well, there you can get in 15 feet depth, we can get the water reservoir. These are the things very clean, beautifully explained in Brihat Samhita. Likewise, there are some plants also, not only Amalaki, Udumbara and Karanja is the main plant. Definitely we can say, but apart from that, wherever Arjuna tree is there or Badara tree is there, Nirgundi or Palasha and Jambu together, or Bilva and Udumbara together, or Tapanumbara and with nearby Valmika, or Kampilaka, or Shionaka, or Saptaparna near Valmika, or Vibhitaki near Valmika, or Kovidara with or Kanchanara with Kusha. Wherever these plants find, we can find definitely the water reservoir. This is the philosophy behind greenery. Okay, this is the philosophy behind the plant. Plants which are intaking maximum carbon dioxide and releasing maximum oxygen to the atmosphere. Such plants are mainly Ashwatha, Tulasi and Kumari. We can get such reference in some ancient Veda or Samhitas. that plants which are intaking maximum carbon dioxide and releasing maximum oxygen to the atmosphere. Main plants, as you know, well known, which is mentioned everywhere, in Ashwatha, then Tulasi. Every house there will be a Tulasi. Third one is Kumari. Interesting is Kumari. These three plants which releases maximum oxygen. This is also so important to the nature. Of course, every plant gives maximum oxygen, but among plants, this Ashwatha, Tulasi, and Kumari are maximum releasing the oxygen. These are some of the points related to water and oxygen. Now we are coming to the Jyotisha, astrology. We have in tradition Jyotish Shastra, there are 27 nakshatras, 12 Rashi. Even we have in Vrikshayurveda or even Purana, we have Rashivana. Starting from here, Mesha Rashi, then Vrishabha, Mithuna, Karkataka, Simha, Kanya, Tula, Vrishchika, Dhanu, Makara, Kumbha, and Meena. These are the 12 Rashis. For Mesha Rashi, Kujagraha, Navagrahas are there. 12 Rashis, Navagraha. The Navagraha having interrelationship between these Rashis that I have given in this chart. The Mesha Rashi, the Kujagraha is important there. Rakta Chandana is the plant. For Vrishabha Rashi, Shukra Graha, Saptaparana is the plant. For Mithuna, Budagraha, Panasa. For Karkataka Rashi, Chandra Graha, Palasha. For Simha Rashi, Surya, Patala. For Kanya Rashi, again Buddha, Amra is the plant. For Tula Rashi, Shukra Graha, Bakula is the plant. For Vrishchika, Kuja, Kadira is the plant. For Dhanu, Guru, Ashwata is the plant. Makara, Shani, Shimshapa. And Kumbha, Shani, Shami Vriksha. And for Meena Rashi, the Guru Graha Pradhana, Vata. So these are the Rashi Vana. How it is useful, I will explain later. This is Navagraha once again. See, there are Navagrahas and plant and grains given. For Ravi, Shvetarka and Goduma. Shvetarka is the plant and Dhanya is the Goduma. For Chandra, Palasha is the plant and Shali is the Dhanya. For Puja, Kadira is the plant, Adaki is the Dhanya. For Buddha, Apamarga and Mudga. For Guru, Ashwata is the plant, Chanaka is the Dhanya. For Shukra, Udumbara is the plant, Nishpava is the Dhanya. For Shani, Shami Vriksha, Tila is the Dhanya. For Rahu, Darbha is the plant and Masha is the Dhanya. For Ketu, Durva and Kulatta. These things mentioned, these are all very interesting and very closely related. See, just this is a horoscope of a person who born on 1986. So just see his horoscope. Lagna is here in Vrishchika Lagna. There he is having Shani and Ketu, Kuja in second house. After Lagna, it is second place. Now you see how this is a Kushta, diagnosed as Kushta Vyadi patient. How this is horoscope and this is useful in Navagraha and Rashivana. The clinical diagnosis is Badru or Pitta Kafaja Kushta. Here Kuja residing in second place from Lagna. This you can see here Lagna in Vrishchika Rashi. There is Shani is there. Kuja is in second place from Lagna. Okay. And Rahu situated in Anishtasthana, causing the disease. You see here Rahu, Mesha Rashi. Okay. Sixth place. Okay. So Rahu is situated in Anishtasthana, causing the disease Kushta. The dosha related to Kuja is Pitta, which is matching with the clinical diagnosis. During the Kuja Bhukti and Rahu Bhukti, the disease manifested. This disease manifested during Kuja and Rahu Bhukti, where Kuja and Rahu are inferior. Then for this Parihara also mentioned in our classics only. For Kuja and Rahu, offering at Subramanya temple, any Subramanya or Naga, there is Naga or Subramanya temple, you have to give some offerings. Then donate Adaki to the poor people. That also mentioned. Donate Adaki Dhanya to the poor people. And in classics, if you are observing for this puja, Khadira is the plant. See the beauty of this Khadira arista is used in skin disease, and along with other medicines also you can give. So Khadira Pradhana Dravya, if you are giving this particular patient, so I have given this one and I have got wonderful result. So there are Daivapashe, Utyavapashe and Sattva is also important. So if you are thorough with this Rashi, Navagraha and Rashivana, Navagravana and little bit about Jyotish Shastra or astrology and how to read horoscope, and based on that how to treat the patient by these medicines. So wonderful result we have got. So this is my clinical experience. Next, let us see Loka Purusha Samyavada. As I told earlier, so how the nature is there, likewise Purusha. So Loka and Purusha Samyavada. Let us see the relation between plant and human organ. Just see here. Just for the interest I am showing. This is a carrot. Just a tears of carrot shows here like an eyeball, which is good for eye. See, the carrot is beta carotene is there. It is good for eye. It looks like eye, so it is good for eye. This is the beauty. Here again fig. Okay. Just you can see anjura here. It is edible. Just to see here sperm. The fig is useful in infertility, especially male infertility, which improves sperm count. That is the specialty. Here again, nature and human relation. You can see. If you are seeing this walnut, just see the walnut one side, the other side, you can see the brain. Walnut looks like a brain, which is good for brain. This is also a specialty. Loka Purusha Samyavada. Next, you can see the avocado, that is butterfruit. Persea americana is the botanical name. Persea americana is the botanical name. This is avocado, which is useful in, looks like garbhashaya and womb. It is womb, and here the baby resides, like looking like that. Same way here, it is garbhashaya. So this avocado is very good for garbhashaya vigrati, and even it prevents garbhapata, abortion. Next, you can see the badam. Badam also resembles eye, which is good for eye, which improves eye power. Next, you can see this Sita Phala, Ram Phala or Lakshmana Phala. Annona squamosa, Annona reticulata. Okay. So both these resembles heart. It is good for heart. This fruit is always good for heart, cardiac disease. Sita Phala or Ram Phala, or even Lakshmana Phala, Annona muricata, which looks like Valmika. It is useful in Valmika or Arbuda. This in cancer. In cancer, this Lakshmana Phala is beautifully working. Again, coming to this apple, if you are seeing the LS of apple, it looks like brain. Okay. So as it contains the phosphorus level, which increases the phosphorus level in brain, so it is good for memory and enhancement. Definitely this apple also working for brain. Next, coming to the Manduka Panni, it looks like brain again, which is very good for brain. Best brain tonic, best Medhya Rasayana. It is very closely resembling the brain. Next, again, if you are seeing this Guduchi, Tinospora cordifolia, the botanical name itself is that Tinospora cordifolia looks like a heart. It is good for heart. But so we cannot argue that this all cordifolia, all the leaves which are resembling the heart. You cannot say it is useful in heart. Just for the relation between human and nature, I have given an example as Guduchi. It is not that all cordiate leaves are useful for heart. But here in Guduchi, yes, it is best for heart also. Now, yeah, is it audible now? If at all any problem is there, please inform me.
It is audible, sir.
Yeah.
Also. Yes, sir.
Continue. Yeah. Then we have some reference in Ayurveda also, how this green philosophy developed, how this nature and human relation developed, or how this plant science is developed. We know that Brahma Smrutyu Ayushya Veda, everything came from Brahma and then Daksha Prajapati, Indra, all. But Charaka says that, so one is, both are true. Brahma Smrutyu Ayushya Veda, also it's right, Ayurveda is developed from Brahma. But in Charaka Samhita, he says that not only that one, the rishis, meditation, and Nati Vaidyas, folklore physicians especially. The contribution of folklore physician also Charakacharya emphasizes in his first chapter, Charaka Sutrasthana, first chapter, sloka number 122 or 121, 122, and then onwards, continuous slokas, some slokas. He says that the contribution of forest dwellers are more important for the development of Dravyaguna Shastra. The Aushadhinam Namarupabhyam Janatehi Ajapavane Avipaschaiva Gopascha Echanye Vanavasinam. Aushadhinam Nama Rupabhyam, the Nama and Rupa of a plant, Aushada, recognized by Ajapa, Avipa or Gopa, that is covered shepherds or Anya Vanavasina, other forest dwellers. Okay. He has observed that the cowards or shepherds and other inhabitants of the forest are well versed with the names and forms of the drugs. So their contribution is much more important, along with their rishis or meditation or Brahma. It said that once India was covered with the thick forest, this can be supported by reference from Veda, Ayurveda, Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. Even in Charaka, in this sloka also, the next sloka says that na nama jnana matrena rupa jnanena vapunaha. Okay, only nama and rupa, nama is not sufficient. Rupa jnanena vapunaha. Then aushadhinam param praptihi, the ultimate knowledge. Param praptihi means the ultimate knowledge of the aushada is important for a best the best physician. Only name and rupa, nama rupa is not sufficient. A best physician should know how to administer the drug or how to treat the patient with the herbal medicine or with the dosage forms, dosage. Not only that, even the side effects, adverse effects, everything important, Vishadravyas, everything. Because we cannot say that Ayurveda medicines are harmless or Ayurveda medicines are not having any side effects or not having any adverse effects. Where there is effect, there will be some side effects also, there will be some adverse effects also. But if you are cautiously using this plant, there will not be any side effect or adverse effect. Or if you are preparing properly such medicines, there will not be any adverse effect or side effect. So the classical method of identification, classical method of preparation, classical method of administration, all these things are important. Then again, Charakacharya says that Aushadam Yanabhijnatam Nama Rupa Gunaistibihi Vijatam Vijnatam api Duryuktam Anarthayoka Padyati. That means Aushadam Yanabhijnatam Nama Rupa Gunaistibihi. Not only Nama, Guna and Nama Rupa and Guna, Tribihi. All these three are important. If you are not knowing properly, it will lead to some disaster. Anartha Yoga Padyati, he says. So, caution also he is giving, Charakacharya. So, very beautifully explained all those things. Now, as I told this, the regarding forest, in Veda, Ayurveda, Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc., it is mentioned. So, in Rigveda, as you know, all of you know that in Rigveda there are 67 plants, Yajurveda 81 plants, and Atharvaveda 289 medicinal plants references may be observed. So in total, nearly 1,200 medicinal plant species are documented in Ayush systems, but only about 250 plants are being used regularly in herbal drug industries. This is due to depletion in the conservation of plants. So as you know that in Veda, we have Rigveda 67, Yajurveda 81 and Atharvaveda 289. And even later Ayurveda, Brihatraya and other things, not only 1,200, even up to 2,000 or some more plants we could identify in literature, but in field we could not identify what are the plants mentioned in Ayurveda. We could not identify properly. So we have in our syllabus 200 or 300 or 350 plants. That also some plants are not so available. So if you are studying, if you are seeing these plants, ultimately a physician is, or a herbal drug industry, a pharmaceutical industries, they are using hardly some 200 or 250 plants. But in day-to-day practice, every physician is using only 50 or 60 medicinal plants or plant products. So very less number of plants we are using. This folklore information of the plants or the other plants gives a broad scope or wide range of medicinal plants to use to the treatment for a physician. Physician is having wide range of samples or selection opportunity. He can use any number of plants if you know the proper usage or proper dosage also. But why this number of plants are decreasing means depletion in the conservation of plants. So we are not concentrating on conservation of medicinal plants. Plant conservation is more important for all the things, not only as medicine, for food items, for nature, for oxygen, for water, everything. This conservation of plant is more important. There is references in the history about keen interest shown by Chandragupta Maurya and Kautilya in vegetation. You might have studied this history. Lot of things explained. So in the roadside also they have planted in Ashoka also, King Ashoka. He has planted many trees or many plants in roadside or in villages everywhere. However, since then the forest cover is on decrease and the quality of forest has also fallen. So day by day, the deforestation took place. Now coming to the point, why plant conservation is important. 1900 or 1900, total forest area of the world was nearly 7,000 megahectare, but by 1975, it reduced to 2,890 megahectare, sudden depletion. And if this decline continues at present rate, by 2025 AD, less than 1,500 mega hectare may be left. So this is the pathetic condition of all of us. The deforestation taking place in the name of development, but the development depends on the conservation of plant. Not only the deforestation or construction of building, it won't work for the development. So as per WHO estimates, almost 80% of the population of developing countries relies on traditional medicines, mostly plant drugs, for their primary health care needs. Even in developed countries, the use of traditional medicine is quite prevalent. Even modern pharmacopoeia still contains at least 25% of the drugs derived from plants and many others which are synthetic analogs built on prototype compounds isolated from plants. So we can get some digitalis purpurea, that is Varnapatri, okay, digitalis purpurea, sorry, not Varnapatri, Rutpatri, digitalis purpurea, or you can get Xerxia chiraita, or you can go for Sarpaganda, or you can go for Tuvaraka. All these plant products or plant derivatives are mentioned in modern pharmacopoeia also. So such derivatives, chemical components are mentioned in modern pharmacopoeia also. So these are all based on herbal medicines. Demand for medicinal plants is increasing in both developing and developed countries due to growing recognition of natural products being non-narcotic and no side effects, easily available at affordable price, and sometimes the only source of health care available to the poor. So nowadays, everyone is using herbal medicines now, and due to the corona, this COVID-19, the awareness has come up with the herbal medicines. Each and every person in India now taking herbal tea, this medicinal plant kashaya decoctions, or like Bhumi Amalaki or Amalaki or various or Guduchi, etc. Such medicines or medicinal products everyone is consuming now. So there are a lot of awareness has come up because of this COVID-19. So the awareness of health by the traditional system of medicine, traditional medicine of food, everything has come up with this 6 months, last 6 months. But the problem is, in the name of herbal products, many non-Ayurvedic persons are minting money. Even allopathic, all allopathic companies, they have started a herbo-mineral product. So in modern medicine, one herbal product they are mentioning, and the herb they are mentioning as advertising as herbal product. Even the toothpaste or other things, everything has come up with herbal. But an Ayurvedic physician should not practice allopathic medicine. At the same time, these allopathic practitioners or allopathic pharmaceutical industries should not use herbal medicines, because the we are the losers, because we are using the many herbal medicines or plants for our classical products. Let us develop our classical products which are mentioned in thousands of years back in our literature. For the production of such classical products, for example, Gugulu or Ashoka or many plants are endangered or becoming extinct. They are not using proper herbal medicines also with the chemical they are using, but we, the Ayurvedic physicians, now we are the losers, because everybody is using a herbal product. For the classical Ayurveda preparation, we are in lack of medicinal plants. That's why these aspect also we should not entertain the other than Ayurvedic persons to use these herbal medicines. That also not the positive sign for the development of Ayurveda. Causes for deforestation. Now let us discuss why this deforestation takes place. This phenomenal increase in human and livestock population, growing demands of timber and fuel wood, increase in area under cultivation of crops, excessive and unplanned grazing. These are all important for deforestation. And furthermore, increased demand of wood for paper, board, newsprint, etc. Construction of roads in mountains, growth of industries, development, impact of human activities such as mining, irrigation, agriculture, etc. Then what are the major effects of deforestation? What may happen in this? This is also important. So increase of soil erosion, leading to increased recurrence of floods and droughts, loss of important and useful wildlife. Last year we have in Kerala and Karnataka the flood, due to flood, even in North India also. In Kerala and Karnataka, due to deforestation only this flood occurred. It's not because of heavy rain. So many deforestation took place, because of that only the flood occurred, droughts. Okay, so the flood also occurred, and then later droughts also, because of lack of plants, no rain also. Loss of important and useful wildlife, deterioration of economy and quality of life, loss of economic balance of the country. Then let us see how this happened and what is endangered. A plant or animal species existing in such small number that is in danger of becoming extinct, especially as a result of human activity. Why these species are endangered? The destruction of habitat by human activity, human exploitation of species. We are not exploring the medicinal plants, we are exploiting the medicinal plants. That should not be. And displacement by invasive species, disease seen in species, predation by animals, natural calamities. These are the causes for endangered. Then who has given the list of red plants? IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and GBIF, Global Biodiversity Information Facility, and EOL, Encyclopedia of Life. All these three unions have given the red listed plants. Then how a taxon is entering to red endangered list? How it is so declining or deforestation take place, and the one by one the taxon is entering to the endangered list. Why? Means why and how? The rate of decline, population size, decrease in population size, area of geographic distribution, degree of population, distribution fragmentation, etc. And category of endangered species, how these endangered species are categorized. Again, the extinct, extinct in wild, critically endangered, endangered, vulnerable, near threatened, and least concerned. So these are the degree of endangered. then why this conservation is required? Let us come to this point. Again, the philosophical background. Why this the conservation is important? The green philosophy mentioned by our Ashtanga Sangraha, Acharya Vagbhata, Ashtanga Sangraha, as well in Bhava Prakasha, Bhava Mishra, that Uchito yasya desha tajjam tasyaushadam hitam. Uchito yasya desha tajjam tasyaushadam hitam. Deshe anyatrapi vasata tatulya guna janmacha. That means, in Vagbhatacharya and Bhava Mishra says that a person who belongs to a particular region, aushadas from the same region are the most wholesome. If not, similar drug of same qualities may be used. That means, wherever you live, the food and medicines which are commonly available in your area are most wholesome or most suitable for you, rather than bringing the food items or medicinal plants from very far away and giving high price. So it is not suitable for us. The most easily available and most cheaper food and medicines are most effective. That is always you should remember. It is not that so giving high price, it is fancy price and bringing this rarely available things. Always we are the human psychology. If the person is having excess of money, person who is having minimum money, he knows how to live. But person who is having excess of money, he won't follow any rules and he doesn't know how to live with things, nature. He purchases the unseasonal food, unseasonal fruits, unseasonal plants, or he is purchasing the very costliest item, or which are not available in and around him, which is available in somewhere different place, distant place. Such things only this rich man focusing. But whereas poor man focusing always where the things are available cheaply, where the things are available easily, where the good qualities are available. So this Acharya says that wherever you live, the things which are available in and around your area are most wholesome and most suitable. Say for example, the Guduchi plant in our area, in Mangalore. I am from Mangalore, Karnataka. So here the Guduchi is very commonly available plant. So very easily available and we can just cure, or Saptaparna also, we can just cure the Jwara by giving Saptaparna Kashaya or Guduchi Kashaya. But in North India, this Vasanaba or other drugs are available, which is Vishadravya, which cannot be used properly, or even Ativisha also, which is costly, or Pepper somnifera and other things which are not easily available. Why to use such drugs? So, the very scientifically, very philosophically, our Acharya has mentioned that Yasya Deshasya Yojantahu Tasya Shodam Tajjantahu Mitam. That means wherever you live, you take such medicines or similar qualities of drugs we can use. Now coming to the point, based on same principle, import substitute and export promotion. What is this slogan? The slogan says that import substitute and export promotion. What is this philosophy again? In India, there are 880 medicinal plant species involved in all India trade. Of this, 48 species are exported and 42 species are imported. Approximately 8,000 medicinal plant species are grown in the country, very commonly for commercial purpose. Why this import substitute and export promotion? So, what you have to do is what are the plant which you are importing to stop those importing, find a substitute for such plants. Whatever plants you are importing, find a substitute in your locality. That is one point. And export promotion. Whatever the demand in Western countries, whatever the plants or whatever the food or whatever the plant material or products are in high demand, then export promotion. Let us multiply such plants or such food items in our locality. That is what our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi says that Atmanirbhara or be vocal to the local. That this is the thing. Be vocal to the local means let us concentrate to the local people and think. Let us think globally and act locally. So whatever the things are available, let us multiply. So that we can stop the import of the drug and we can promote the export of the herbal drugs or food items. So this is the thing we can contribute being Ayurvedic physician for the target of Modi ji, that Atmanirbhar Bharata. With this, we can develop or we can work hard in this regard. Let us see what are the conservation methods. The cutting of the plants for timber should be planned way. If a plant is to be cut, another plant of the same type should be planted. Okay. Then increase the demand of firewood can be reduced by providing alternative sources of energy such as biogas, LPG, solar energy, etc. This would reduce the major pressure on the plants, which is mostly for fuel wood. Then ancient techniques for plants are mentioned in Vriksha Ayurveda. How to cultivate or how to multiply, how to find a substitute for import of drugs and how to multiply the exporting drugs. For that, our acharyas themselves, they have mentioned in Vriksha Ayurveda very clearly, very beautifully explained the techniques. Ancient techniques for plants are mentioned in Vriksha Ayurveda, such as Bhumi Nirupanam, that is selection of the soil, Poshana Vidhi, special nutritional care and management of plants, and Kunapa Jala, very beautifully explained in Vriksha Ayurveda, liquid biofertilizer, then Drumaraksha Vidhi, rules for the protection of trees, etc. should be used properly. Then modern techniques for the plant cultivation and management, such as irrigation, fertilizers, tissue culture, and control of bacterial and plant disease, weeds, etc. also should be implemented. Then damaging the forest area for the sake of industries should be strictly avoided. It's also important. So we on one side we are industrializing, the other side we are deforesting. That should not be. So for the development's sake, we should not go for deforestation. I think time is very short. I will finish as early as possible. Encouraging the ethno-medicinal practice. This is also very, very important. Encouraging ethno-medical practice, because this helps, as I told, wherever you live, the food or medicines which are available in and around your area are most wholesome, mentioned by acharyas. The folklore medicine, medical practitioners, ethno-medical practitioners their contribution is very, very high in this regard, because all ethno-medical practitioners are using the local medicines only. Only the locally available plants or locally available food items are used by these folklore physicians. They are not purchasing any products, plant products. They are giving local plants, collecting local available plants, making their own medicines they are giving. So their contribution is very high in conservation as well. The principles behind or philosophy behind this greenery, that also important. And encouraging home remedies. Always let us encourage in kitchen remedies or home remedies. We have around 20 medicines in our kitchen. Ajamoda, Jiraka, Krishna Jiraka, Ingu, then Haridra, then Shunti or Maricha or Pippali, Sarshapa, all these grains or spices are very good medicines, and which are very fast acting medicines also, which is these kitchen medicines especially we can use as emergency medicines also. If we have onion or we have parandu or we have rasona, all these items are highly useful in emergency conditions. Okay, so let us encourage such home remedies. So if you are seeing this Chakradatta or Pangasena, there you can get some quotation like Harati Shigram or Shigram Harati or Harati Na shame. Such quotation we can get in the such Mangasena Samhita or Chakradatta. That is the contribution from their side for the emergency medicine or Ateka is also we should protected from the very philosophy behind. Wherever you want to cultivate the medicinal plants, you cultivate in between the aromatic plants, like lavanga or even nirgundi or even jatipala or any aromatic plants also you can use, among which other medicinal plants also you can cultivate. Multi crops you can cultivate so that the pests are very less. The farmer should be well trained to cultivate and protect the plants. The plant tissue culture should be encouraged. The sexual propagation seed method, asexual propagation vegetative method also important. But in tissue culture, we should be some cautious also. We should analyze the difference between naturally cultivated and culture level. Time and type of Vriksha Janma Vidhi between two vrikshas, how it should be distance between two vrikshas, Vriksha Poshana Vidhi, nutrients, Gunapajala, liquid biofertilizers, hybridization, etc. And in same plant we can get different types of flowers, variegated flowers. Mango tree, different types of different varieties of mango in single tree. So these are all comes under Vichitrikarana. Then let us see Shuddhikarana of Bhumi. Briefly, I will explain. Land should be purified before cultivating. Dig a hole in the area to be cultivated, fill water in the hole, and add Vayu Vidanga Churna mixed with the Gogrita, leave it as it is for a day. This is the Shuddhikarana. Then time and type of Vriksharopana, of doing puja and to Brahmana and Chandrama. See a good day with the nakshatra like Dhruva Nakshatra, Hasta, Purvashada, Mula, etc. Then do Nadi Pravesha, Nadi Pravesha to Bhumi or build a Pushkarani. So that was the camel also required. Then when Varsha Ritu, Bahusha ki Vriksha, Prata or Sayankala, Bahusha ki Vriksha, you can plant. Shita Kala, not Kalami Vriksha, it is Sayankala, you can plant. And Vriksha Janma Vidhi. Dividha Janma Vidhi is told by our for Vriksha. They are Bija, Kanda and Kanda, tuber. Then Bija, example Jambu, Champaka, Punnaga, Bilva, Amra. Kanda, it is Ambuli, Sindhuvara, Tagara. Then Kanda, it is Kunkuma, Ardaka, Lashuna, Aluka, etc. Then Vriksharopana Vidhi, clean green grass of the area. Then saw Masha and Tila. Then remove Udichya, Kita, etc. The trimming action by putting Ajaganda or Shatapushpa, make hole in the ground, fire there and cover it with mud. So this all disinfectant. Now saw the seed dipped in Grita and Makshika. Angola Thaila treated seed germinates very fastly. So if you are dipping these seeds in Angola Thaila 1 or 2 days, then soil in soil, it sprouts or it germinates easily, and land covered with the Palasha Patra until seed germinates. The Palasha Patra also helps for germination of seeds. For replantation of Vriksha, plant should be removed with the root and mud, then treat with paste of Vidanga, Grita, Makshika, and then replant. So these are all disinfectant methods. And Antara between two Vrikshas also mentioned. Vimshati Hasta in Uttama, Shodash Hasta is Madhyama, Pasha Hasta is Adama. So these are the things mentioned. And for Trinna, Gulma, Lata, etc., distance is 4 hastas pramana. If the distance not maintained, there will be no fruiting. This is also mentioned. Yeah. If time is short, please tell me. Otherwise, I will take just 5 minutes more. I'll complete as early as possible.
Sir, you can continue. No problem, sir. You can.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So, Vriksha Poshana Vidhi, the growth of old Amalaki tree, Masha application is important. Masha, if you are applying, the growth of Amalaki tree is will grow. The improve. The growth of Narikera Vriksha, Yavaraja is good. For Kapita and Bilva tree, watered with Grita, Guda, Kshira, Madhu will bear sweet fruits, which are very fleshy and with scanty seeds. Make paste of Eshti Madhu, Madhuka flower, Shita, Kushta and Madhu. Make this into gulika, tablet form. Scatter them around roots of all tree for nourishment. Best nutrient for the plants, such plants. Madhuka flower, Sita, Kushta, near the roots of the plants. Add Sheetala Jala mixed with Kulatta, Masha, Mugga, Tila and Yava Churna. Then plant will daily flower and fruit. These are all the things very beautifully explained in Vriksha Ayurveda of Suraphala. And Gunapajala also. How to prepare Gunapajala? That's why red ghee in water. Put this in earthen pot. There are all this flesh of these different animals and birds in an earthen pot. After proper boiling, add kshira to this. Add tila, thali, sesamol cake, madhu, masha, grita, mix well, and keep this in warm place for ekapaksha, that's 15 days. This is Gunapajala. This is the best liquid biofertilizer, form of nourishing liquid, which is mentioned as Jivamrita. Nowadays, it's generally called as Jivamrita. Then the last point is Vichitrikarna, botanical marvels. As I told, the referenceless fruits also. Eshti Madhu, Sita, Kushta, Madhuka, Pushpa are pasted together and applied to the root of the tree. It produces fruit without seeds. Then bonsai plants also. If one is in ground with bricks all around, four and a half cubits deep, then a plant in this plant always remains this method. Then pollinators take Siddhala, Shasya, bit of Kola, Marja, under cultivation and train them to suit very close related to one another. It's very, very important that the agriculture or plant domestication, medicinal plant and human civilization are having very good affinity. Various methods of domestication of plants maintained in the holistic vanas such as Rashivana, Navagravana, Nakshatravana, Dhanvantari Pujavana, Satyanarayana Pujavana, Bhutaradhanavana, etc. So these vanas we have in our garden. Advas Ayurvedic Medical College in Karnataka near Mangalore. We live in Mudbidri. This Mudbidri we have Shobhavana. It's called as Shobhavana. Very beautiful Aushadhavana. We have 64 vanas, 64 different vanas, among which Rashivana, Navagravana, Nakshatravana, Dhanvantari Pujavana, all these are very, very important vanas. We have 64 different vanas in very beautiful herbal garden. Okay. And maintaining home herbal garden, in every home we should cultivate some herbs. Maintaining school herbal garden also important. Training the students, children in school level, primary school level, to cultivate the herbal medicines is very important. Maintaining herbal garden besides temple, maintaining Gramin Arogyavana, that means in every panchayat level, Gram Panchayat level, there should be Arogyavana, or every temple, every school, every house, and cultivate some of the medicinal plants in between the agricultural crops also. All these projects should be undertaken by the state government or central government or NMPB. Thereby we can develop the nature as well the health. So what may happen next? What happens next is up to all of us. We all influence whether plants are sustaining used or conserved for future generations. That is very, very important. Plants are relevant and vital to all of us. We should all be aware that plants across the world are endangered, with many facing extinction, and support efforts that tackle this problem. The plant diversity is especially important because it underpins the functioning of all ecosystems as well as providing us with many direct benefits. Then expected benefits from these things are: bring down the importing of medicinal plants by cultivating or substituting. So import substitute, that is very, very important. Upgrade the export potential. As I told earlier, what are the plants which are in high demand, multiply and export. With this, our economy is improving. We are stopping the importing or decreasing the import of medicines so that our economy will improve, and we are exporting the plants, thereby also our economy will improve and overall health also improve. The quality of the medicines will be improved, the soil erosion can be controlled, the groundwater will be recharged. These are all the today's discussion. Overall, I am concluding now. The green philosophy. So, what is the philosophy behind these green plants or green drugs? This is the find a substitute for import or reduce the importing, improve the exporting, the quality of medicines will improve, the soil erosion can be controlled, the groundwater will be recharged, atmosphere also will be improved by the improving in oxygen released by the plants such as ashwatha, etc. Overall health will be improved, the economy of the country will also be improved. So with this, as I told, the Honorable Prime Minister says that, or Narendra Modi ji says that, be vocal to the local and make in India policy, thereby we can live with Nirbhara, Atmanirbhara. These points, let me conclude the overall the philosophical background of the today's topic, green philosophy. I'm highly thankful to the principal and organizers, especially Dr. Priyanka, and all the organizers and patient listeners of this seminar. Very much thankful to all. Thank you, and all. If you're having any doubt, you can ask any questions or suggestions also. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your very much lucid presentation and very much informative presentation. So this is the session for queries. So if anybody is having any query, they may ask the question directly to our sir.
Okay.
Anybody is having it?
Doctor, myself, Dr. Ruma De. I was like really enthralled by the way you have presented and a very important topic. That is green philosophy. I have a question. Rather, I would ask you suggestion what you would say in regard to this high superfood. I mean, this is very much common. People are consuming foods which are like imported from other places, like foods like quinoa, then stevia, avocado, and these things are quickly been replaced. People who are ready, who can afford these things, they are getting used to this kind of food, and we all know how costly these things are, but still people are not aware of the pros and cons of these things. They are consuming it blindly. What is your take on it, sir?
Yeah. That's what we are supposed to, as I told our Acharya Ashtanga Hridaya, Vakatacharya and Bhavamishra mentioned, Yasya Deshasya Yojanto Tatsya Jajjantam Hitam. That means I told already, wherever you live, the food and medicines are very easily available in and around the area, are most wholesome. We being the South Indians, so we are so just fancy things. We are going for North Indian food, and the North Indians going for South Indian food, or in abroad nowadays pizza, burger, or whatever it will be. The unwholesome foods are entering to our stomach, each and every person. Likewise, even medicines also. The other than Ayurvedic people, in the name of herbal drug, are minting money in the name of noni herbal drink, noni medicines, or stevia, whatever it may be, in the name of herbal medicines, not Ayurvedic medicines, in the name of herbal medicines, everyone is minting money except Ayurvedic people. So we being Ayurvedic people, we should dedicate to Ayurveda, and we should fight for, should not fight for the allopathic practice. Ayurveda physician should practice only Ayurveda, should not practice allopathic medicines. Definitely we can challenge, we can cure any type of disease, even emergency treatment also we can do, except some accident case and other things, it is difficult. But beyond our level, we should not go for treatment also. We should know our limitation also. As the driver should know how to, it is rather than driving, a driver should know how to stop the vehicle, isn't it? So rather than driving. So likewise, we should know our limitation. For a driver, it's important that how to stop the vehicle is more important than how to drive very speedily. Because if you are driving quickly or fastly, so not only it's a risk for us, it's a risk for others also. Same way, being Ayurvedic physician, we should not use other medicines. We should dedicate to Ayurveda. Then we can attain our target or our challenge.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Long-term risk of consuming such superfood in the name of something which is high on nutrition and all. Do you have some research studies on it? So.
Yeah. So not regarding food. In my PG studies, I have studied on Kuchandana, the plant Kuchandana, that is botanically Edinanthera pavanina, botanical name. Okay, it is Kuchandana is the Sanskrit name. It is a substitute for Chandana. In Rajanigantu, we can get the Chandanam Saptada Smritaha. That means there are 7 varieties of Chandana mentioned. It is Chandana, Rakta Chandana, Kuchandana, Patranga, Harichandana, Pita Chandana, Malaya Chandana, and Kale. So these 7 plants mentioned. So Kuchandana is Edinanthera pavanina, which can be taken as substitute for Chandana or varieties of Chandana as per the Rajanigantu. So in my studies, I have collected this plant from different areas, from 20 different areas of India. I have collected this raw drug. Then in Hyderabad, IICT, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, because I have studied my MD from Hyderabad and PhD from Bangalore. While doing MD at Hyderabad, Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, I have analyzed this different sample in chemical profile, the HPTLC, etc. Then later I find that the plants which are grown in coastal area, any coastal area, the plants which are grown in the coastal area are most wholesome or most potent drug which I was using in skin disease. So I was using this drug for skin disease. I am using now disease. The plant which is grown in coastal area, this Kuchandana is most suitable. So if we are observing the skin disease also, the coastal area, even your West Bengal in Kolkata or in Karnataka or Kerala, all this coastal area, if you are doing survey, the skin disease is very common. The skin disease is very prone, very common in coastal area. Again, you see the nature, just in nature, if you are observing, in our area especially, I don't know the North India, in Kerala and Karnataka coastal area, if you are doing the survey, the plants which are useful for skin disease are very common. See the nature and relation, human relation. The skin disease is also very common, maybe because of excessive humidity or excessive fish eaters. Because of the seashore, the fish eaters are more, and excessive humidity, the skin disease is very common. See the nature, the plants which are useful in skin disease. Here we can observe in our area, especially Chandana, Rakta Chandana, Patranga, and Aragvada, Kadira, all these plants which are useful in skin disease. So plants which are useful in skin disease are very common. This is the relation I am saying. So this is my experience. Likewise, I am observing my day-to-day practice also in research mind only. I am practicing pure Ayurveda practitioner since 20 years. I am practicing in such principle only Ayurveda, pure Ayurveda medicines. So with this background, only we can hire other studies also. Thank you.
Thank you
one
so much,
question.
sir.
That is how actually you already described very nicely this medical astrology related matter, that how we can diagnose the patient based on their astrology, and based on that we give related plants. Okay, so there is having one question, that is actually by the date of birth and time of the birth and the place, I mean birthplace, we are calculating Rashi, that is actually moon sign. And another one is, I mean, the zodiac sign. I mean, zodiac, that is actually sunshine. So whenever we are preparing for the medical astrology for the diagnosis purpose, that time which sign we should take? I mean, sun sign or moon sign? Sign actually Rashi.
Yeah. Here is going for the traditional Jyotisha Shastra only, not the modern astrology I'm saying. The traditional Jyotisha Shastra, there we have Rashi, Dvadasha Rashi. That is Mesha, Mithuna, Karkataka, based on that only. And as you said that if you know the date of birth, place of birth and time of birth exactly, then we can make the horoscope and we can analyze based on those things, especially for skin disease and manoroga, then prameha, then any manoroga, then infertility case. These cases we can treat with the background of astrology, Jyotish Shastra. Okay. And it's a very vast subject, very difficult to explain in this.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sir. Yeah. Sir, already so many requests came. Yes. Thank you so much, sir. So many actually requests came already that they are very pleased for your presentation. So if any other day, if you are interested for any topic, if you want to present in our webinar, then we will be very much grateful to you, sir. Because already SMS and I got so many calls also. So we'll be very much grateful to you. And so much, sir, very dynamic this presentation. And I mean, different I mean, aspect. We actually not that much aware about these Drabhagana I mean, topics and this era. And that's why we got the different knowledge from you today. And that's why we are very much grateful to you, and very nice presentation. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you all.
Yes, sir. And, yes, sir. And now one announcement is there. That is tomorrow, again 7 p.m. we are having another presentation. The topic is basic concept of Darbhaguna and its applied aspect. And the speaker is Dr. V. Shugosh from CCRS Kolkata. So I hope again the same participant will get, and we will actually enjoy the webinar along with all the informative session and all. So for tonight, now is to tell good night, and let's see, again we will meet tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.